I've done multiple six figures flipping iPhones over the last 2 years, and I've helped people hit 10K, 20K, and even 30K months in pure profit with phone flipping. And if I could go back and talk to the version of myself who was stuck at 2K, 5K, or even 10K a month, I'd give him the exact advice you're about to hear, because it would have made everything work way faster and I would have made way more money. So let's get right into it. Number one, the money is in how fast you solve the seller's problem and not how well you negotiate. So everyone thinks negotiation is the skill you need, right? To close these deals. But no, the skill you need is just removing friction. That's really all you need. So what that looks like, what removing friction looks like, is just fast replies, fast meetups, fast decisions, fast payments in cash. Like, the person who solves the problem the quickest wins the deal 10 out of 10 times. So I wish I knew this earlier, because I would have closed a lot more deals and obviously made a lot more money. Number two, your first $10,000 month happens when you stop acting like a hustler and you start acting like a business. So beginners stay broke because they behave like these individual flippers that are flipping like it's a side hustle and flipping like it's like a job. $10,000 months only happen when you have a sourcing system dialed in, a selling system dialed in, you have a schedule, you have a brand, and all those things. And this is, you need to shift your mindset from like hustling to start acting like a business. Because when you're hustling, you're doing outreach, you're selling your phones back on Facebook Marketplace, and there's no system actually in place. And I say it all the time, if you treat this like a side hustle, it's going to stay a side hustle. But if you actually treat this like a business, you have a system in place for your sourcing, a system in place for your selling, you have a schedule, you have a brand. That's treating it like a business, and then you're going to start making business money. The discrepancy and the problem is when people act like a hustler and treat this like a side hustle and they expect business money. But that's where the problem is people treat this like a side hustle and expect business money. That's never going to happen. You have to treat this like a business to start making business money, which is around like $10,000 a month in profit. So get those things dialed in, and I promise you, you'll make a lot more money. Number three, most people fail because they collect information instead of collecting phones. Now, what I mean by this is people binge so many videos, they overthink, and all they do is just consume, but they never pick up a damn phone and make offers and actually go out there. Like, when I was first starting out too, I spent actual months, binging videos, watching every single challenge video, and it's all the same shit. You learn all the same shit. Every YouTube video is just a challenge video of going from an iPhone 8 to an iPhone 17, or talking about the same shit. So the more you binge videos, the more you overthink, the more you consume all these videos, the longer you're delaying your goal. The longer you're delaying your goal, because Alex Hormozi always says it takes 20 hours of focused effort to get really, really good at something. And the problem is that most people delay that first hour. And that was me. I delayed my first hour, and I see it with so many people today, is they just watch every single video. They consume. And the problem is that they never even start. They never start. So stop watching a bunch of videos and just dive into it. You already know kind of how to start out. Especially if you watch my free course here on YouTube, you'll know exactly how to start out. So stop consuming a bunch of videos and actually dive into it, because you're literally just jerking it. Like, just watch a video and start the damn business instead of watching a bunch of YouTube videos. You're literally just procrastinating. Number four is you'll scale a lot faster with better decisions. Now, a lot of people, when they are first like really, really diving into phone flipping, they'll just pick up any single phone just because it's a phone that they got offered, or there's just a deal that's out there, or they'll meet up with just everyone possible. Like, what I mean is you will scale by learning how to say no faster, avoid time wasters, avoid scam situations, and just, you have to choose higher ROI actions daily. Because when you get to a certain point in phone flipping where you have to say no to certain deals. You can't say yes to every single deal. You can't say yes to the iPhone 8 that's cracked on the front and back. So stop trying to make these deals work that are just really not worth it. Stop trying to make the deals work that are not worth it, and you have to say no to some phones. And the next thing is avoid time wasters, and also avoid scam deals. When you're in this business, you understand what time wasters and you understand what scam situations look like. So when you're in this business for a decent amount of time, you see a conversation go a certain way and you'll know this guy's going to waste my time. Or you'll see a conversation go a certain way, you'll get offered a 17 Pro Max for $100 and you'll know this is too good to be true. This is a scam. So stop wasting your time on these dumb things that you already kind of know where it's going to go, right? So say no faster, avoid time wasters, avoid scam situations, because once you're in this business for a little bit, you know what those patterns look like, and immediately once you see that pattern, stop the conversation, right? So choose higher ROI actions daily, and don't waste your time on dumb leads or dumb phones or time wasters or anything like that. Spot the patterns and avoid it. Number 5 is lead quality is very, very important. Now, when I was just starting out and I started running ads myself and I got no help doing them, I was getting a decent amount of leads, but my leads were super bad. Like when I was running Facebook ads and I started out just on my own, my leads were offering me phones that I couldn't even really buy and make a profit off of. So I was getting offered like iPhone X's, cracked front and back, or iPhone 8, iCloud locked, cracked front, cracked back, like all these terrible phones. And I realized, like, yeah, I'm getting a bunch of messages. Yeah, my ads are working because these people are seeing it and they're messaging me, but I'm getting really bad quality leads. So it was only until I understood if I want to, first thing, get very, very clear on your ideal customer. What phone does your ideal customer have? What location is your ideal customer in? So, and make an ad specifically towards that ideal customer. So once I started actually getting my ads dialed in the right way towards my ideal customer of the person that I wanted to work with, that's when I started getting good quality leads and I started making a lot more money when I got clear on who is my ideal customer, what type of phone does he have, what location is he in. And once I got clear on that, I made an ad, a Facebook ad specifically towards my ideal customer, and I started getting mostly 90% or 80% of my leads were my ideal customers. And I was able to actually pick up phones from them. So before I was getting maybe, let's say 30 messages a day, but they were all shitty quality leads. They were too far and I couldn't even meet up with them because shitty quality leads, because they didn't have good phones. They were too far, they would flake, all those things. And then when I started running ads towards my ideal customer, they were in my local area. I could drive 5-10 minutes to go meet up with them. They had the phone that I want that I could actually make a profit off of. And I was just getting a little bit less leads, but closing more deals. And that's the goal, is to close more deals. So the importance of lead quality is a big, big thing because that'll make you a lot more money. Less messages, more closed deals is what you should focus on. Number 6 is organic can make you so much money because it builds trust that no other phone flipper has. Now, when you start posting organic, and I only realized this when I actually started working with people, working with other phone flippers, I told them to post organic content. And some of the people that I've told to post organic content, they started doing it the right way, posting Instagram Reels and TikToks. Some of those people have made 6K, 8K, 10K profit just off organic content. So it works. It will make you a lot of money. And the reason behind this is because it builds that trust factor. Like when someone sees your ad, they go to your page and they see an unlimited amount of proof that you actually do what you say you do, they're going to trust you a lot more and you have a lot more authority. Whereas if they see some other phone flipper's ad in your area, they go to his page, he doesn't have any of that, they're going to go with you 10 times out of 10. So organic can make you so much money because it builds trust, and trust is something that no other phone flipper has, at least not as much as you if you're posting organic content. So if you want to stand out, have an organic page where you post content of you meeting up with sellers, and people will trust you a lot more. You'll get a lot more meetups and you'll outdo your competition because nobody else is really doing that. Number 7, selling to private buyers for lower profits per phone to make higher profits per month. Now, this is something that I only realized a couple months into the game, and I wish I knew sooner, because when I was first starting out, I thought it was about make the most profit per phone, make the most profit per phone. Like I would get phones off Facebook Marketplace and I'd be making $200 profit per phone, but it would take so long to get a phone for the price that I need to get it for to make $200 profit. And it would take so long to sell that phone because it was going back on Facebook Marketplace. And so I was making $200 profit per phone, but it was taking so long to get the phones and get rid of them. So I was only recycling like 5 to 10 phones a month, but I was making $200 profit per phone, right? And that might sound good, but it wasn't until I realized it's more about volume and it's more about selling your phones for lower profits and to get to your end goal of making higher profits per month. So what I started doing is buying a lot more phones, but only for $50 to $100 profit, and selling it straight away to private buyers and prioritizing that speed, because my private buyers would pay me that same day or the next day. I'd get that cash back and I'd be out buying more phones. Whereas when you're trying to make the most profit per phone, your process is so slow. It takes you a long time to get a phone, sell a phone, get all that money back. But when you are quick, everything is quick. You get 5 phones, sell 5 phones, you have that cash back in your hand, you go out and buy more. Whereas when you don't, you're sitting on your cash and you don't have enough money to go out and buy more phones right away. So sell to private buyers for lower profits per phone, because you're going to make higher profits per month, because you could reinvest that cash so quickly back into more phones and stack those $50 to $100 profits over and over and over and over again. You could flip your cash 3, 4, 5 times over in a single month. And that's going to make you more money in the long run if you're flipping your cash over and over and over and over. And especially if you're starting out with low amount of capital, this is exactly what you need to do to make more money. Number 8, meeting with people who talk in supplier language. Now, what I mean by this is when I was first starting out with ads, I didn't really know what this was. So when I say supplier language, I mean like people that say pieces or grade B, grade A, or NIB, which stands for new in box. Like this language that only phone flippers talk in. Meet with those types of people, because when I was first starting out, some people would talk to me in this language, but I was only going to be making like $10 or $20 profit off their phone. I was like, I'm not going to meet up with this guy, obviously. But it was only till I realized like these people are phone flippers, and it just takes one person to completely change my whole entire business. Because if I meet up with this dude and he's a supplier, he could start giving me 10, 20, 30, 40 phones a week if we could strike a deal in person. So always meet with these types of people, even if you're making $10, $20 profit. And there's been times where I've met with these people that talk in supplier languages, and I actually lost money on our first deal. But I secured that connection, I got their phone number, and I started doing business with them and made thousands and thousands of dollars in profit over time. So even if you're going to lose money on the first deal, and you know this guy talks in supplier language, meet with the guy, because you never know. This guy can make you thousands of dollars over time. Just meet with the dude, right? That's that. Number 9, the truth is that the more money and better location you're in, the faster you'll make $10,000 per month in profit. So I see people all the time that think they can't start out with $1,000, or they can't start because they're in a bad location. And that's not true at all, because I've helped people that are in bad locations with low startup capital. I've helped them get to $10,000 a month. It just takes longer. So it's not binary. It's not can I or can I not. It's how long will it take. So it's not can I get to $10,000 a month with $1,000 and a shitty area. It's how long will it take to get to $10,000 with $1,000 in capital and a shitty area. Because it's not binary. It's not binary. It's not can I or can I not. You could. It's just going to take longer. So the people that I've started out with that have had lower capital, like $1,000, and are in not so popular areas, they have gotten to $10,000 a month. It just took them 6 or 7 or 8, 9 months. But the people who start with a more capital, like 2, 3, 4K, and are in better locations, like more populated areas, normally those people will get to $10,000 a month within like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. So the point is that the more money you have and the better location, the faster you're gonna get to $10,000 a month. And the less money you have and the worse location you're in, it'll just take longer, but you will get there if you actually have the right system in place. Number 10, speed to everything is important. Now, I kind of went over this earlier, but like, yeah, speed to meet up, your speed to lead, like how fast you respond to people on your phone. I used to get messages and not respond to them until like whenever I felt like it. And that right there is something that you won't even realize that's what's killing your business, is because the person who is quick to everything, who sets up the meetup, responds to the message as soon as possible, shoots an offer as soon as possible, those are the people that are going to close the deals. Those are the people that are going to close the deals because they're moving quick. They're responding to the message right away. They're setting up a meetup right away. And at the end of the day, that's how you're going to make more money, even if you don't realize it. So as soon as I started responding to people a lot quicker, like as soon as I get that notification on my phone, I just text them back. Get in the habit of responding to people as soon as they text you, because the speed to lead is everything in this business. And if you're not quick, they're going to reach out to another person, and that person is going to be quicker than you, and they're actually going to get that deal. So speed to everything in this business is important, no matter what it is. Just speed. Move with speed in this business. Whether it's getting phones, selling your phones, responding to leads, speed with everything is key in this business. Number 11, tracking absolutely everything. So I had a problem when I was starting out that I didn't even know how much money I was making every single month. And some months I actually lost money because I wasn't even tracking shit. And also, when I got to the point where I had a problem in my business, I didn't know what the problem was because I wasn't tracking anything. So what I mean by this is, first of all, always track your numbers. Track your revenue, track your profits, track how many phones you're getting, what's your profit per phone, every single thing, right? Where'd you get the phone from? Absolutely everything. So, because when I got to a point, and a lot of you guys are at this point where you guys have a problem, right? And you guys don't know what the problem is. Some of you guys don't know what the problem is. When you track absolutely everything, you could see, okay, this is my bottleneck that's not allowing me to get to $10,000 a month. So if I have a spreadsheet and I put in, I got 20 phones this month, and then 25 phones the next month, and then 15 phones the next month, and I'm selling all those phones right away, if I'm not tracking it, I might not even realize, okay, I'm not getting enough phones because I'm not tracking anything. And this might be a little bit of a bad example, but if I'm tracking everything and I see, okay, I'm only getting 25 phones a month. Wow, it felt like I was getting a lot more. Okay, well, that's the bottleneck. I'm able to sell my phones right away, but I'm not getting enough phones. Okay, what do I need to do? I need to get more phones. All right, how do I get more phones? All right, Facebook ads, organic, once you track absolutely everything, you could see what the bottleneck is. For example, that was kind of a shitty example, but if I'm getting 100 phones a month, let's say, and I don't even realize I'm only selling 50 of them or 60 of them a month, then I could look at my spreadsheet and say, okay, month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, all of these months, I only sold 70% of my inventory, and so I don't have enough cash to go buy more phones. Okay, that's the problem. I need to sell my phones quicker. So when you track absolutely everything, you can get very clear on what the bottleneck is that's holding you back from $10,000 a month. Get very clear on that problem, and then you could go out and try and solve that problem. The problem is that a lot of people, they don't even know what problem they have, so they try to assign a meaning to why they're not making $10,000 a month. Whether that's because, oh, my buyer doesn't have good pricing, or I can't sell my phones, or I can't get enough phones. You don't even know what the problem is because you're not tracking anything. You don't even know what your problem is. You're just prescribing a meaning to it, right? So once you actually track your numbers, you could get very clear on what your problem is and the problem you need to solve to get to the next level. So I'm sorry for waffling. Number 12 is staying on the traditional vehicle for too long. I did this, and I see so many people do this, is the traditional vehicle. What I mean by that is Facebook outreach and Facebook Marketplace to sell your phones. That's the traditional vehicle. That's where most people start, is outreaching to get their phones and selling the phones back on Facebook Marketplace. Because this is what people advertise here on YouTube, is challenge videos. Oh, I did outreach, and people in these videos are doing outreach and they're selling the phones back on Facebook Marketplace and they're making $10,000 a month, right? And so people stay on this traditional vehicle for too long because they think it's going to get them to $10,000 a month, like these videos say they are, but it's not. Guys, I promise you, I've talked to these people, I've called these people out. I could literally pop up messages, but I'm not. But these people, it's not what it seems like. These people are not actually doing it with how it looks like in the videos that they're making. That's not how it actually is working. So people stay on this traditional vehicle for too long because they think, oh, if I just do this for long enough, it's going to make me $10,000 in profit. But it's not. So you have to know when to switch your vehicle from the bike to the car, which the car is an actual system in place like Facebook ads and private buyers. That's literally all I do. And that's literally all I've done. It's very, very simple. And you can literally see the results from the people that have done it on my YouTube. People have hit 10K months, 15K months, 20K months from doing this. And the problem is, it's not Facebook Marketplace outreach and Facebook Marketplace, selling your phones back on Facebook Marketplace. That's not the problem. The problem is when people do that for too long. Like, I recommend people to start out that way, like their first week or 2 weeks, just to get their feet wet. But you have to know when you switch your vehicle to the car to actually get to your goal. Now, if your goal is to make 1, 2, 3K profit a month and to hustle and put a lot of effort, you could stay on the bike. You could stay doing outreach. But if your goal is 10K a month and you want to get there quick and you want to actually be able to get there, then you have to switch your vehicle to an actual system. So the only problem is when people stay on this vehicle for way too long and they think they're going to get to $10,000 a month. You're not. You have to switch your vehicle to actually get to your destination. So yeah. Number 13, 10 out of 10 times, you'll always hit your goal. You always will get what you're looking for. And this might be a little airy-fairy, but stick with me because I really want to explain how this works. So if you want to prove that nothing works for you, you will do exactly that. And back to the point, 10 out of 10 times you'll hit your goal. So remember this, and in this video, this section right here is going to be a couple minutes because I really want to dive into this and help you understand it. Because if someone hops into a business and if someone hops on a call with me and they say, yeah, man, business just doesn't work for me. This is my last business I'm going to try because business just doesn't work for me, right? Like, I'm a special snowflake, right? That's what you're saying. I'm a special snowflake. Business doesn't work for me. I tried this business, it didn't work. I tried this business, it didn't work. Maybe business is just not for me. So you are creating that identity. Your brain will attach that to your identity. Business doesn't work for me. Subconsciously, your brain will attach that to your identity. And you don't realize your brain will do everything in its power to match that identity. So that's what I mean by 10 out of 10 times you'll hit your goal. So when people dive into another business and they're the people that are the special snowflakes that say, business doesn't work for me, this doesn't work, well, like pussies, sorry. But when people say this, their brain will do everything it can to affirm that identity. It will do anything it can to prove that business doesn't work for them. And they don't even realize it. So they'll hop into this business and their brain will do everything it could to make them fail at business because they always say, oh, I fail at business. And this could be with anything in life. This could be with losing weight. Oh, I can't lose weight. Or sticking to a diet. I can never stick to a diet. Your brain will do everything it can to confirm that identity. And so you don't even realize it, but you're looking for that. That is your goal. When you say these things, that is your goal. That's why you have to be very careful with what you say to yourself because your brain will match that into your identity and your brain will do everything it could to hit that goal. So when you say, oh, I can't stick to a diet, you're setting subconsciously, you're setting a goal of let's not hit this diet. Let's not stick to my diet. So your brain, that is the goal for your brain, and you will do exactly that. You will not stick to your diet because you're saying, I can never stick to my diet. I know it sounds a little airy-fairy, but maybe do a little bit more research into it. Look it up on ChatGPT so you can understand it more. But I hope that maybe clears, I hope that made sense and hope that you understood that because that has been a big thing that I've seen. And yeah. Number 14, it takes such a short amount of time to win. People just delay the first hour. This is kind of what I said earlier is people don't realize, especially in phone flipping, it takes such a short amount of time to win. I've had people hit 4K profit, 5K profit, 6K profit, their first ever month phone flipping. And people's second month phone flipping, I've had them hit $10,000 profit, $15,000 within their third month of phone flipping. But the point is that it takes such a short amount of time, such a minute amount of time to win if you have the right system in place. But so many people just delay the first hour. So many people delay actually diving into the business, actually starting because they want to, they just procrastinate. So many people just procrastinate and just watch a bunch of videos and everything. But I want you to realize that whatever your goal is, it takes if you have the right system in place to start phone flipping with, it will take such a short amount of time to actually get there. But you're just delaying the first hour by binging content, by overthinking, oh, is this going to work for me? Is this going to work? in my area or with my capital range. Like, I want you to understand, at least me personally, I've worked with just about every situation out there. I've worked with people with 2 jobs, with 1 job. I've worked with people in shitty areas, good areas, low capital, a lot of capital. I've worked with so many different people in so many different positions. And I promise you, you're not a special snowflake. You can make it work. You could hit your goal. And people convince themselves they're this special snowflake. Oh, this doesn't work for me because I'm in a bad area. This is not going to work for me because this. Shut the fuck up. Actually start diving into the business, because me personally, I've literally worked with every situation you could possibly imagine. And if you want help from me personally, book in a call with me. I'll help you out. But I'm just saying this because I've seen every situation, and you're not a special snowflake. You're not special. Like, I've worked with people in worse positions than you, and I've gotten better results. So actually dive into something and not be a bitch, and take action instead of just procrastinating. So this is a good time to say that if you want help starting out, you could book in a call with me using the first link in the description, and I'll help you one-on-one, help you start out phone flipping. Or if you're stuck at a certain number phone flipping, I'll help you out and help you get to your goal. Whether you're stuck at 2K a month, 5K a month, 10K a month, whatever it is, I'll help you make more money with phone flipping. So if you want, I'll put a link in the description. You can book in a call with me and I'll help you out. Number 15, not checking every phone fully. Now, this is a mistake that I've made so many times, months into the game, years into the game, and a bunch of people I'm working with that are months into the game, they've also made this mistake. But I want you to be very clear that I want to make it clear that you have to check every phone fully every single time. No matter how long you've been doing this, check every phone fully, because every time when people in my program, we hop on one group call a week, and when I get on these group calls, people that have been in the game for months, they're like, yeah, I was in a rush, I didn't check the phone fully, and I lost $200 on the phone because I didn't check. One little thing. It takes one little thing. It takes one time to not check the Face ID, not check if the phone has the iCloud on it, not check whatever it is. But the point is, check every phone fully, because it just takes that one time for something to be wrong, and you'll lose $100 or $200 on the phone if you don't check absolutely everything. So no matter if you're in a rush or whatever it is, check the phone fully, because you could lose money. Number 16, believing you need some secret hack and not just the business fundamentals like marketing and selling. I see this with so many people today, especially, and this didn't really happen back when I was phone flipping, but so many people dive into phone flipping and they think there's this secret hack that's going to get them to $10,000 a month or whatever their goal is. They think there's a secret hack, like, oh, I need an overseas buyer, or I need to start getting phones from auctions, or I need a carrier unlocker. I need someone to jailbreak my phones. Like, all this bullshit. They think there's this secret hack that's going to get them to 5 figures a month or whatever their goal is with phone flipping, and not the business fundamentals. Now, me personally, I've gotten to $20,000 a month with just the fundamentals. I don't have overseas buyers. I don't have any of these hacks that people think you need, like carrier unlockers or iCloud unlockers or anything. And all the people that I've worked with, the people that are on my YouTube that have made $15,000 profit in a month, $10,000 profit in a month, $20,000 profit, $30,000 profit in a month, they don't have some secret hack. It's literally just the bare basic bullshit fundamentals of marketing and selling. That's all it is. That's literally all I teach. I just do it the right way, and that's all you need to get to $20,000, even $30,000 a month. That's literally all you need, is just to market the right way so you can get a shit ton of phones coming in, and then sell your phones to the right person and get paid quick enough so you could go out and buy more phones. That's literally all it is. It's just the fundamentals, and you don't need some secret hack to be successful in this business. Number 17, Facebook Marketplace is shit and you won't get super far. There's a lot of bullshit advice here on YouTube, a lot of bullshit videos that I see all the time. And again, I'm going to say I've talked to these people personally, and their videos are bullshit. The things that they do are bullshit. They're not making $10,000 in a month from the money that you see. The videos, they're not actually doing what you see on the videos. And I'm not going to call anything out exactly, call any names out exactly, but you know who I'm talking about. But Facebook Marketplace is shit. It's not going to get you to $10,000 a month. I want you to really realize that. And I've talked to these people personally, and I know what they do is not how it actually looks, but it won't get you as far as you think it is. And so many people watch these videos and they're like, oh, I could do this. Facebook Marketplace is going to get me $10,000 a month, but it's not. There's so much bullshit advice from all these gurus here on YouTube that are just entertaining you guys with these fucking challenge videos and shit. But Facebook Marketplace is not going to get you far. Stop listening to the bullshit advice and believing everything you see. So yeah. Number 18, losing money or making mistakes doesn't mean you should quit. With business or with anything in life, you're always going to make mistakes, and especially in business, you're always going to lose money. No matter if it's $100 or $10,000, you're going to lose money, depending what business you're in, depending how big of numbers you're playing with. But for me personally, I want to tell this story. Is I went on this deal that I should not have done. It was for 112 phones. I should have not bought these because I knew I wouldn't be able to sell them, and I bought them anyway. And I ended up having to sell all those phones back to the person I originally bought them for $50 less for every single phone. So I ended up losing a little bit over like $6,000. And I came to the point where I was like, shit, that's a really big dent in my capital. And I kind of just like broke my confidence of like, bro, like that's a lot of money. I just lost $6,000 like that, like within like a day, just like that. And I was like, shit, should I stay in this business? Should I not stay in this business? Should I get a job? Like, what the fuck should I do? And it wasn't until after that I eventually decided I'm going to stick with this business. I'm going to go harder than I ever have. And that if I quit the business then, I would have never made $20,000 profit in a single month. So I made all that money back and more month after month after month after month. So losing money and making mistakes is just a part of the game. Doesn't mean you should quit. So stay in the business because you're just getting tested, right? I think it's just when moments like that happen, I see it as just a test from God to see and a chance for me to actually prove to myself that I am who I say I am, and I am the person who bounces back from losses. And I feel like that's a test from God of him saying, all right, I'm going to do this to you, and let me see if you are who you actually say you are. Let me see if you're actually going to bounce back. Let me see if you'll actually stick to it. So I just see losing money and making mistakes as just, I see it as a good thing, because you're going to make that mistake, lose that money, and come back harder than you ever have if you actually stick with it. So it's only a problem and it's only a loss if you let that take over everything and you let that be the thing that stops you from pursuing this business and staying in the business and anything. So losing money or making mistakes doesn't mean you should quit. Take it from the person who literally lost over $6,000 from some bullshit deal. And I'll never do that again. But yeah, doesn't mean you should quit. Don't be a bitch. Number 19, looking for shortcuts set me back months. Now, when I was a couple months into this business, I was looking for these shortcuts. I was watching all these YouTube videos, looking for the next carrier unlocker, looking for the next overseas buyer that I could deal with, all these things. And I wasted so many months dealing with these overseas buyers, dealing with these carrier unlockers that were just all bullshit. If I would have just stick to my exact system, I would have made a lot more money, because I was sending phones to this overseas buyer. It took them so long to pay me. And then I sent phones to this overseas buyer and then conversating with this overseas buyer, because I thought I was dead set on I need an overseas buyer, or I need a Verizon unlocker or a T-Mobile unlocker. And I wasted so many months looking for these shortcuts that would make me this extra couple $100 in profit. And I wasted so many months trying to deal with these shortcuts. And whereas if I were to just stick to what I was doing, I would have made more money. And I ended up not even dealing with these people long term, because it was just bullshit. It was literally just a waste of time. I was waiting days for my payout. I was waiting days for the phones to get to this guy. I was waiting days to get paid from this guy. I was waiting days to get an answer from this guy. Like all this bullshit. So stop looking for shortcuts and just stick with the bare basic fundamentals. Don't get yourself involved in some bullshit. Number 20, overnight shipping. Now when I ship my phones to my private buyer, I always do overnight shipping or 2-day shipping, because again, it's that speed factor that's going to make you so much money. So don't worry about saving an extra $40 by waiting 3-4 days to ship your phones, because I see a lot of people, they do 3-day, 4-day shipping, and their capital is tied up in that box of phones, and they don't even have money to go buy the phones that they're getting offered. So when your Facebook ad is running, or whatever you're doing to source phones, when that's running and you ship all your phones and it's taking 3 or 4 days to get to the buyer, you don't have any money, you can't buy those phones. So you're literally just putting your business on pause. Whereas if you overnight ship your phones or 2-day ship your phones, you get paid that next day, you get your cash back and you're out buying more phones. Your business is not on pause. You never want your business to be on pause, because within the time of you shipping, doing 3 or 4 day shipping, you're losing out on so many deals in the meantime. So always do overnight shipping or 2-day shipping so you can get your money back as quick as possible. Like I said, this business is all speed. Number 21, asking people if they have more devices. This has been a super big thing for me, and it's made a lot of people, it's made me a lot more money and made a lot of people sell me more phones. It's just asking people if they have more devices. No matter what, every single meetup you're at, no matter where you met them, whatever it is, always ask people if they have more devices, because I think there's a statistic that like 99% of Apple users have like 4 different Apple products or whatever it is. So, and it's like an actual statistic. So always ask people if they have more devices, because 8 times out of 10, they do have more devices. Their wife has a phone, their son has a phone, they have an extra phone, they just upgraded, whatever the situation is. But just always ask people if they have more devices, because you can make a lot more money off that person if you do that. And also, I met a supplier through asking someone if they just had more devices. I literally met up with the dude. He was selling me like 3 phones. And I was like, do you have any more phones? And he was like, yeah, I actually have like 13 at home. And that became a very long time supplier for me. And he kept selling me phones over and over and over and over again. And if I never would have asked him if he had any more devices, he probably wouldn't have sold those 13 phones to me. So always ask people if you have more devices. You'll never know who you'll meet. So yeah. Number 22, paid ads is the quickest and the only route to $10,000 profit months. Now, I want to make this very clear to people, is that paid ads is the only route to $10,000 profit months. You're not going to hit $10,000 profit a month if you're not running paid ads. And I want to make this very clear, because let's say you're sourcing your phones. If you're sourcing your phones on Facebook Marketplace, the math is that you need $100. You need 100 phones for $100 profit to make $10,000 profit in a month. You're not going to get 100 phones off Facebook Marketplace. I promise you, you're not going to be getting 100 phones a month off Facebook Marketplace. So you need to understand that to get to $10,000 profit a month, you need at least 100 phones, minimum, bare minimum. You need 100 phones a month. And the only way you're going to do that is through paid ads, by getting more eyeballs, a bunch of people to reach out to you, and that's how you're going to get 100 phones a month. So you're not going to get 100 phones a month off Facebook Marketplace. I want you to understand that and not waste your time trying to get 100 phones a month off Facebook Marketplace, because it's not going to happen. So paid ads is literally the only route to $10,000 a month. And everybody I've worked with, they have done paid ads to get to $10,000 profit a month. I've never seen and never worked with anyone who has just got phones off Facebook Marketplace and made $10,000 profit a month. Never seen it, never happened. So paid ads is the only way to $10,000 in profit a month. Number 23, the more no's you get, the closer you are to a yes. No's are literally just a part of the game, and I always think the more no's you get, the closer you are to a yes. So if you're not you're not going to close every deal. I want to make you very aware that no matter how good your ad is, no matter how good your outreach is, you're not going to close every deal. So people think there's this thing that's wrong. Like, what am I doing wrong? I didn't close this deal. I didn't close that deal or that deal. What am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. Or you might be, but no's are just a part of the game. You're not going to get everyone to agree to your price. And I always say there's unclosable deals and there's closable deals. No matter what offer you have, no matter where you're willing to meet up, no matter what, you're always going to get people that are just going to say no, that just can't, that just don't want to. So no's are a part of the game, and you just have to realize you're not going to close everyone all the time. Number 24, no matter how dumb and normal you are, $10,000 a month is so doable. And it's not this whole different person that you think you have to become. Like, me personally, I'm not a smart dude. I literally dropped out of freshman year of high school, and I don't even know how to spell certain words. Like, I suck at reading. Like, I'm not a smart dude, and I'm just a normal dude. And I've hit beyond $10,000 a month. And I realized this when I hit it personally. I'm not a whole different person. Like, it's just a number. I just did what had to be done, and I hit $10,000 a month. And so many people that I work with, they're also normal people. And they're also, some people are literally brain dead. And I'm like, dude, if this dude could make $10,000 a month, anyone on this world could. So you have to realize that you don't have to become this special snowflake and this crazy person who's wearing Gucci and shit to make $10,000 a month. Like, you could do it as a normal person working a job and everything. You could be dumb, you could be normal, you could be below average, you could still hit $10,000 a month. It is so doable, and it's not this far-fetched thing that I thought it was at one point. I thought I had to become a whole different person and do all these things differently, but you really don't. If you just have the right system in place for any single business, especially phone flipping, you're gonna hit $10,000 a month if you just put the right inputs in. That's all. Number 25, the Facebook Marketplace grind. The grind, right? 50 outreaches a day or 30 outreaches a day and do this and that. Like, just get a system in place. Like, treat this like a business. Like I said at the start, like, I think it was like my first lesson. But treat this like a business. When you're grinding and grind, right? And hustle, when you're treating it like a hustle and treating it like a grind, you're not going to make business money. You're side hustling. So once you actually start treating this like a business, there is no grind. It's just getting phones and selling phones. Like, you don't have to grind and 30 outreaches a day, 50 outreaches a day, and have all these conversations, put all in all this effort. You just have to have the right system in place and stop grinding. Stop treating this like a side hustle. And you'll make a lot more money when you stop going from grinding to just a system. That's all. Number 26, the only difference from people that are stuck at a certain number to getting to $10,000 or $15,000 a month is literally just one fix away. And I see this so many times over and over and over and over again, is people think they have all these problems in their business that they need to solve, all these problems that they need to solve, but it's not at all. The only difference from people that are at 2K a month or 5K a month, the only difference from them and the people that are at 10 and 15 and 20 is literally just one fix away. And that's either your sourcing system or your selling system or both. And that's the only difference. There's not a bunch of little problems that you have. It's just literally just those two pillars. And I want you to realize that is your problem. Like, yeah, there might be little problems within there, but overall, it's either you're having a sourcing problem or a selling problem. That's all. So the only difference between where you're stuck at now and where you want to be is just one fix away. Your sourcing system or your selling system or both. And as long as you fix that, you could get to your goal no matter what. I want to make you realize that it's not all these 100 little problems. You're not a special snowflake. Like I've said 100 times, you're not some special snowflake with all these problems that I've never seen before or that's never happened to anyone. It's literally just either your sourcing system or your selling system. I want you to ask yourself, all these problems that you think you have, I guess just write them down or brainstorm them, and they could fit into one of those categories. Whether it's sourcing or selling, they could fit into one of those categories. Number 27, understanding a learning phase and also understanding a earning phase. A lot of people, when they start out, especially when I started out, I just wanted to make money, right? I just want to make money right away, I just want to make $10,000 profit like this month, right? But you have to understand that there is a learning phase to this, especially if you're brand new. This really kind of only applies to people that are brand new, is you have to understand there's a learning phase. You have to get your feet wet. You have to understand, how do I talk to a customer in person? How do I check a phone in person? How do I buy a phone? How do I sell a phone? How do I negotiate on a phone? So your first full month phone flipping, I want you to realize your first full month, it's just going to be a learning phase. It's just going to be a learning phase. And then after that, it's an earning phase after that. Your second month, third month, fourth month, and beyond, that's when you could start earning. But you have to go through that learning phase, make some mistakes and everything like that. And if you have the right system just to start out, like some of the people, you can watch some of the interviews here on YouTube that I've done with some people, and within their learning phase, their first month, they've made 2K profit, 4K profit, 5K profit, 6K profit in that first month, just because they started off on the right system, but it was still a learning phase. You're still learning, how do I check a phone? How do I sell a phone? How does this whole process work? So you have to understand, whether you make 6K profit in a month, your first month, or you make negative 500, you have to understand your first month is just a learning phase. After that, you can start earning. The whole point of your first month is to just get your feet wet, understand the process and the fundamentals, and that's all. Number 28, the lack of commitment, seriousness, and consistency is why people fail in this business. And I say this because I've worked with people and they're not committed at all to the business. They're not serious, and they're not consistent. I see people that I start working with them and they don't answer the texts. They don't even watch the videos in the training. They don't even go out there and do anything. So if you're not serious, and this is why I say, if we're a good fit to work together, I will work with you, because you have to have that commitment. You have to have that seriousness, and you have to be able to be consistent with something. If you don't have those three, I'm not going to work with you, because I know I'm not going to get you results, because I know if you're not committed, you're just going to fuck off. I know if you're not serious, you're going to fuck off. And I know if you're not consistent, it's never going to work, because if you do something whenever you feel like it, obviously you're not going to get to your goal. So if you have commitment, if you're serious and you're consistent, you can make this work. But if you don't, you're going to fail. And that's just how it is. That's a non-negotiable. Those three things are non-negotiable when it comes to anything: business, life, fitness, whatever it is. You have to be committed, you have to be serious, and you have to be consistent, because if you're not, nothing's going to work. And what I mean by these three things, like commitment, what I mean by commitment is some people will do this business and they also have 3 other side projects that they're trying. Or they have 3 other side projects, or they're trying this business, and I'm going to dive into phone flipping, but I also have to run this business, and I'm also planning on diving into this business next week, and I'm also making an investment in this business. Like, bro, stick with one fucking thing. You're not committed at all to the business. You're just doing all these little things. So that's a lack of commitment. Lack of seriousness, for example, would be something like probably someone who's diving into the business thinking they're going to make $15,000 profit their first month. They're not serious. They're just delusional. And then a lack of consistency. We all know what that looks like. I mean, just kind of doing whatever you want, whenever you want, and not actually doing the things you need to do on the daily every single day. That's a lack of consistency. Number 29, the people that I work with that absolutely crush it and make a lot of money, they follow exactly what I say in the exact order I say it, and they don't try and recreate the wheel or try different things. Now, all the people that are here on my YouTube, they did exactly that. They followed exactly what I said in the exact order I said, and they didn't try and recreate the wheel or try different things. And I learned this from my mentor that I'm currently paying $10,000 a month for, and he said this to me, he learned this from his mentor, so I'm passing it all down. But he said his mentor told him that the best thing that he did was just follow his mentor blindly. And just, even if it doesn't make sense in the moment, or even if you don't think it'll work, just follow exactly what your mentor says. And he said that paid off for him. And me personally, I invested in this mentor that I'm currently paying $10,000 a month for. And there's some things that he says to me that just don't make sense, or the buttons just don't click to me. And I'm like, I'm just going to follow it anyway, because he knows more than me. He's in a different position than me for a reason. And this is the same thing from me as a mentor to my students, is that just follow exactly what I say. Because I realized that the students that get the best results, they just followed exactly what I say. And I'm saying this because I told this dude who recently I started working with, and I gave him a script for an ad, and I said, film this ad, use this script, use this ad copy and everything. And he sent the ad back to me, and it was completely different than what I said for him to do. And it's like, why? Don't try and recreate the wheel. Don't try and do different things. Like, if I say to do something, I obviously know what I'm talking. I'm not saying it to hurt you. I'm saying it because I know it works. I'm saying it because that's what you have to do. And it's like, for example, it's like if I said to one of you guys, I said, send me a video saying happy birthday, right? And you send me the video, and it doesn't say happy birthday at all. And there's a bunch of edits in the video, and there's captions, and then there's an edit of like whatever the fuck, like an edit of you in the gym, and then an edit of you like whatever the fuck, right? Like that's how confusing it was. It was like I told him to do this, and he did this complete opposite thing with a whole bunch of bullshit that I never said to do. And it's like, don't try and recreate the wheel. It looks cool. Yeah, it sounds cool, but just stick to the simple shit. Don't try and recreate the wheel. Don't try different things. Well, obviously try different things, you know what I mean? But just listen and follow exactly what is there. Don't try and recreate the wheel and try all these different things and make it look fancy and make it sound fancy or whatever. Just follow exactly what is there, and you will get the results. Number 30, people say avoid iCloud locked phones and carrier locked phones and blacklisted phones, but that's where your real bread and butter is as a phone flipper. Over the years, I've made way more money off of these iCloud locked phones and carrier locked phones, blacklisted, passcode locked. I've made and cracked. I've made 90% of my money off of those phones, and the people that are saying to avoid them, they're just dumb, because that's where all the money is. That's literally where all the money is. The least amount of money is in unlocked phones, carrier unlocked phones. The least amount of money is in those phones. I've made majority of my money through these iCloud locked and carrier locked phones, so never avoid them. As long as you have a buyer for them, buy these all day. And if you don't have a buyer for them, get a buyer for them, because this is going to make you a shit ton of money. Once you start buying these phones, you're going to make a shit ton of money. Never avoid these phones. Number 31, the less you care and need money, the more you'll make. Now, my mentor told me this one too, is exactly that. The less you chase money, the less you need it, the more money will come. So if you just focus on the daily inputs, you focus on just winning the day, you focus on the task at hand, you focus on what you have to do today, the inputs you have to do today, the money will follow. Like, the less you care and you need to hit that number, the more money you'll make. There's some months where I just take it day by day. Just focus on the task at hand. Focus on just winning the day, doing the things that I need to do today. And at the end of the month, I'll track all my numbers, look at all my numbers. I'm like, holy shit, I did like 15K this month. Like, and you don't even realize, because you're just putting in those daily inputs. And the less you care, the less you need to make 15,000 this month. The less you care about making 15,000 this month, the more you'll make. So it's like, it's really with anything in life. It's the law of whatever the fuck, the law of something. But it's the same thing with anything in life. The more you're chasing this girl, the more she's gonna run. But the more you start leaning the other way, and the less you care and the less you need her, the more she'll come to you. It's the same thing with money. So it's the same thing with money, 100%. So the less you need and the less needy you are, the less you care, the more you'll make, the more you'll attract. And I know it sounds airy-fairy, but that's really how it works. Like, that's how this universe works. So I'll end it off with that note, and I hope this video provides some value to you and you actually learned something, wrote some things down to avoid or start doing. And again, if you want to work with me one-on-one and you want help either starting or scaling your phone flipping business, I'll put a link in the description, and you could book in a call with me and I'll help you out if we're a good fit to work together. If I actually think I can help you out, I'll help you out. But that's that. So I'll see you boys later.